Today we're going to be going over question 1A from your worksheet, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can go about solving these. So the first way, and probably the easier way, is to pick the two shapes that you want to use for your composite area, or you can pick more than two. For this one I'm just going to do two. So I've chosen a parallelogram as well as a triangle. I'm going to leave mine as these two very distinct shapes for right now while I'm trying to work out the dimensions, and then we'll redraw our picture. We need to start by calculating the area of this shape up here. So we have a square that's 4 by 4. So the area will be 16 centimeters squared for this square here. This whole side is 6 centimeters, and this portion of it is that 4 centimeters, which means that this little side here is 2. So we have a 2 by 2 square here, that's 4 centimeters squared. To get the total area, we just add those two up, and we get 20 centimeters squared. So the area of this shape that we're making has to be 20 centimeters squared. So we have our area formulas over here, and our total area here just to remind us of what we're doing. So I'm going to start playing around with numbers for the parallelogram. So the area is the base, so this side, which is also going to be the base for our triangle, multiplied by the perpendicular height. So we want the total area to be 20 centimeters, so I'm going to start off with smaller numbers and we're going to just work our way up. So I've chosen a base of 4 centimeters and a perpendicular height of 3 centimeters, and that gives me 12 centimeters squared. And that tells me that the area of the triangle must be 8 centimeters squared, since both of those areas have to add up to 20. So I'm using the area of a triangle formula. So we have the area is 8 equals 1/2 times the base is 4, because these two lengths are the same. So the base is 4 times some height. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to make our height. So 1/2 of 4 is just 2. So the area has to equal 2 times some height. If the area is 8, 2 times what gives us 8? Well, it will be 4 centimeters. So your final shape might look something like that. Another way that you could solve this problem is by taking a shape that you know, like a parallelogram, and cutting out a triangle from it and just keeping this shaded part. So if I'm choosing to solve the problem this way, I will have to figure out the total area of this parallelogram and then cut off this triangle part. So I'm just going to play around with some numbers, see what I can come up with, and I want the total area to be bigger than 20, because then I'm going to subtract this off. So I only want this area to be equal to 20. So I'll play around with some numbers and see what area of a parallelogram I can come up with that will be greater than 20. I've chosen a base of length 6 centimeters and a height of 4 centimeters to get 24 centimeters squared for the total area. And I think this will work really well because I have the height as 4 centimeters and I know I'm going to be subtracting 4 from this total. So I think it'll be kind of an easy one to do. So I want the area of this triangle to be 4 centimeters squared. So I'm just plugging that into our area of a triangle formula. So we have 4 centimeters equals 1/2 times base. I'm not quite sure what this base will be yet. And then multiplied again by the height of 4 centimeters. So I've just cleaned that formula up a little bit. I have 1/2 times 4, that gives me 2. So 2 times some base should give me 4, so that means that the base must be 2. So you might end up with a shape that looks something like this.